Let's take a moment to reflect on the words of Colossians, chapter 1, verses 13 and 14. It tells us that through the grace of God we are delivered from the power of darkness and translated into the kingdom of his dear Son. This is the essence of salvation. It's more than just securing a ticket to heaven instead of hell. It's a liberation from the clutches of darkness, an enlistment into the service of God's will right here on earth. We're freed from the shackles of wrong vices, despair and scarcity. Our minds, once clouded by fear, are reborn and invited to transform, to conform to a life of triumph. Salvation, then, is a liberation from the realm of fear and an invitation to a life of victory. Redemption, a term often used but seldom understood, has deep implications in our spiritual journey. This notion, rooted in the heart of verse 14 of Colossians 1, paints a picture of a spiritual transaction. This transaction, however, is not a simple exchange. It's a recovery of proper ownership, a price paid not by us, but by Christ himself. Through Christ's suffering, we are reconciled back to God, a bridge built over the chasm that once separated us. What was once lost, stolen from us through our transgressions, is redeemed. This is not a simple return of property, it's a restoration of what was inherently ours. So what exactly is it that is redeemed? It is the original gifts granted to humanity: perfect righteousness, health, provision, peace, and authority. These gifts, once lost, are restored through the act of redemption. In essence, redemption is the restoration of our original gifts: perfect righteousness, health, provision, peace, and authority. Psalm 91, 9, 10 promises a life free of evil and plagues for those who make the Lord their habitation. But what does that entail? In essence, to make the Lord your habitation is to give him due ownership of your life. This concept is echoed in 1 Corinthians 6, 19, 20, which reminds us that our bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit and that we are not our own, but rather we are bought with a price. This isn't a matter of obligation, but rather a profound recognition of the divine ownership that encompasses every facet of our lives. Our marriages, friendships, jobs, and finances. When we acknowledge his rights and place everything under his authority, we are essentially moving ourselves within his habitation. So imagine a tool left outside the protection of the shed. It rusts, it deteriorates, but when placed within the shed, it is preserved, it is protected. Similarly, in surrendering to God's ownership, we secure ourselves in his habitation, under his protection and within his promise.